Hey guys, good morning or afternoon, depending on what time it is for you. Welcome to the Grocery Shop for Free podcast. And we can't do that. So, we've got a very interesting episode for you today. Today, I'm going to be talking about things that you probably shouldn't be frugal with. So, I know we spend a lot of time talking about coupons and ways to save money, and that's important. We want to keep as much of our money in our pocket as absolutely possible. But having done this for a while, I also believe that there are some things that you shouldn't go with the cheapest option on. There are some things that it's okay to spend a little money on to get a little higher quality and be able to, that'll just make your life a little easier a little easier, and make you a little happier in the long run. So let's get right into it. First up, probably the first thing and the most important thing that you shouldn't be too frugal on is toilet paper. Now, this is something that I discovered very early on in my couponing career. There was a coupon for a brand of toilet paper. It was called Scott Tissue, which it's still in the market. But I used it on like the dirt cheap toilet paper. This was one ply. It was paper thin, which it's toilet paper, so I guess it's all paper thin. But this is like really thin, like you could see through it thin, and it was a terrible experience. I mean, every time you use it, you really ran the risk of giving yourself a prostate exam. It was just really, really, really bad stuff. Not something you ever want to spend. Not something I would ever buy again. I don't care how good a deal on it was. I don't care if they were giving it away. There's just no way that I would ever bring that product back into my house. It was more trouble than it was worth. So toilet paper, yeah, there are always good deals on toilet papers, and you should definitely use coupons and price matches. But you should use it on the higher quality stuff. 2-ply at a minimum, 3-ply if you can get it. The softer, that bouncy stuff. That's the stuff that you need to be spending money on. I don't care how good a deal is on some of that, the real cheap stuff. Don't spend money on that. It's very easy to be too frugal on toilet paper. Next up, your bed. So you need a good night's sleep. You're going to spend a third of your life in your bed. So don't scrimp on your mattresses. Don't be too frugal on your sheets. Don't be too frugal on your pillows. You spend an enormous amount of time in your bed. Make sure that your bed is as comfortable as it can be. You want nice fluffy pillows if that's what you enjoy. You want sheets with high thread counts. And a lot of times you can still find really good deals on those things. But don't just buy the cheapest thing on the shelf. You want to have a good night's sleep, and a good night's sleep affects the rest of your day. So you want to make sure that you're spending the right amount of money to make sure that bed is as comfortable as it could possibly be. And trust me, you'll thank me for that. If you've got scratchy sheets on your bed right now, please upgrade those sheets. Get a nice fluffy pillow if that's what you're into, and if it's been, a decade or more that you've been sleeping on the same mattress, maybe it's time to swap that mattress out and get something with a little bit more support and something that can hold you. If you've got back problems, if you've got, sore muscles when you wake up, I might invest in getting a new mattress or something. So definitely spend money on your bedding. Next up, number 3, shoes. In fact, really anything that separates you from the ground is always a good thing to spend more money on, but shoes especially. Now, I went through a time when I just bought the cheapest shoes I could find, usually at Walmart, and they're usually like $10. I didn't care anything about them. But I learned really quick that, especially if you're a bigger guy like me, man, you want a shoe that somebody's put some time and effort into designing. You want a shoe with some arch support. You want a shoe with some padding. You want a shoe that's not going to make your feet, cramp and feel miserable. If you're using all day, if you're going to spend money on shoes, spend a little money on shoes. In fact, I guess it was probably a year ago that I bought a pair of New Balance tennis shoes. Now, I spent some money on them. I spent, about $100 on these New Balance tennis shoes. They were expensive, but it's a year later, and I'm still wearing them. In fact, I'm shocked at how long that these shoes have lasted. In fact, it's getting about time for me to replace them, and they're a better, more economical. They've turned out to be a more economical decision than buying those cheap $10 or even $20 pairs at Payless or at Walmart. I think it was definitely a good buy. If you need to buy work boots, Red Wing work boots are expensive, but man, they last forever. And you only have to buy one pair, and they'll last you, 5, sometimes even 10 years. I mean, they just last a long, long time. So if you spend a lot of time on your feet, if you spend a lot of time walking around, do yourself a favor. Don't scrimp out on the shoes. Don't be frugal when you go shoe shopping. Spend some money on the shoes. Get a very comfortable pair, and don't think of it as money that's being wasted. It's money that you're investing in your well-being, and it's money that you're investing in your health. In your health. Sorry. Number 4, safety equipment. Any kind of safety equipment that you're buying, you want to buy some really high quality stuff, because you just don't know if it'll save your life. It's also the same with like automotive things. You want to buy a really high quality pair of jumper cables and always keep those in the car. Maybe buy a few flares or something. One of those kits that has a bunch of stuff in it. 99% of the time you're never going to have to use that stuff, but that one time that it's pouring down rain and you have a blowout, and you need to make sure that people can see you as they come over a hill, and they don't run into your car, and they don't hurt you or kill you even. You want to make sure that you have the right safety equipment in your car. If you have a job that's that's a little more it requires you to do outside work or whatever, labor, make sure that if you're in a harness, make sure that harness is good, high quality. If it's if you have to be, I used to cut down trees, and so you'd always check the ropes and make sure that those ropes were always good quality, and they weren't going to break if you put any weight on them, because and I never had a situation where I fell out of a tree and actually had to test it, but it just takes that one time where you're relying on that safety equipment to save your life, and then it doesn't. It breaks because you didn't put the time and the quality into it. So if you have to have any kind of safety equipment for your car or for your job or for anything else, go ahead and spend the extra money on that. It'll save your life. Number 5, birth control. Man, spend some extra money on birth control. If it is not time for you to have a kid and you do not want a kid just yet, spend the extra money on birth control. Don't buy the cheap condoms. Don't get the free ones that they give away that have a high failure rate. Spend some money, get some high quality birth control. Don't get the pills or whatever that don't work very well. And I don't know anything about those things. But if you don't want to have a kid, if it's not time for you to have a kid, go ahead and spend some extra money and make sure that you get the right kind of birth control. So next up, number 6, tires. In your car, spend some money on tires. Now you're talking to someone that for a long time, I just bought $20 tires. There's a little place down here, and they sell used tires. They sell them for $20 a pop. And about once every 2 months, I'd go and buy a new tire because they would wear out. So all my tires were different treads. All my tires were different wear patterns and everything, and it just wasn't safe. Go ahead and spend some money, buy new tires, and that's your family in your car. That's you in that car. You want to make sure that you're getting where you need to go, and you get there safely. And you want to make sure that you're spending that your car is a safe place to be, not just for you and your family, but also for the other people on the road that are that are around you. You want to make sure that your car is not something that's going to do damage to other people. Next up, dental or medical care. I know things get so expensive that you want to save money where you can, but all it takes is one bad trip to the dentist, and maybe you're in pain for the rest of your life, or maybe you need to get dentures or something. Maybe or you go to the doctor and they miss something because he's the cheapest doctor in town, and he's just running people through his clinic as fast as he can. Go ahead and spend some extra money on medical care. Now I know medical care and dental care are both really expensive, and so the kind of the natural push is to get the cheapest that you can. But that's not something that you want to scrimp on. We had a friend of ours that went in for surgery a couple of years, probably been a decade or so now, and they botched the surgery, and he was in pain for the rest of his life. And it was a terrible thing to to watch and to see him go through that. So go ahead and spend some extra money. Spend some extra money on your dental care, spend some extra money on your medical care. It'll be something that that you don't regret. So what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Number 8. Spend some money on tattoos. Now, I'm not necessarily recommending that you get a tattoo, but if you do decide that you want to get a tattoo, spend some money and get a nice one. Now, this tip comes courtesy of my sons. They all have tattoos. I don't have any, and I'll probably never get one. But there's a big difference in the quality of tattoos that are out there, and just about anybody with $20 can buy a tattoo gun and set up, throw up a shingle and do really bad tattoos. So make sure before you get a tattoo from someone, you see previous work, you see what they are capable of, and you see that they're a reputable tattoo artist. Tattoo is something that's going to be on your skin for the rest of your life, although there are ways that you can get them removed, I know now. But if you're doing it right, that tattoo is going to be on your skin for the rest of your life. So you want to make sure it looks nice. And if you want a good laugh, just Google bad tattoos. There's so many of them out there, and some of them are hysterical. There's one that I love. I see it very often. The guy he meant to put no regrets across his, underneath his collarbone. He misspelled regrets. So it says no regrets across his collarbone. I just think that's the funniest thing. I think he's got one regret. So make sure that you're spending, if you're going to get a tattoo, make sure you're spending good money on it. Make sure you spell check. Spell check is so good. Next up, food. So, I'm a frugal grocery guy. I spend as little money as possible on food every month, but I've since recently kind of amended that. Where before it was just spend the least amount of money as you can to get food and to feed your family. Now it's become spend the least amount of money you can on the best food available to feed you and your family. I'm at one point in time, I was about 400 pounds. I was a big guy. And it was because we were and I'm still a big guy. It's coming off, but slowly. But I was, and that was a product of us just really just buying the cheapest food possible, eating a lot of sugary things because they were cheap, eating a lot of, rice and real so the little Mexican restaurant, or no, a little Mexican grocery store down by where we used to live, used to sell these things called bolillos. And they were loaves of bread, tiny little loaves of bread. And I say tiny, but they were enough for 2 or 3 people. And you buy them 5 for $1. Man, 5 for $1 loaf, these big bread things, and you could serve them as a side, put butter on them. Man, they were cheap, and they were a staple of pretty much every meal that we ate for years. Because they were so cheap, 5 for $1, you just really couldn't beat that, and that caused all of us to gain a lot of weight. Our family, had really gotten big, and it's because I was so focused on spending the least amount of money. I wasn't really thinking in terms of, I don't need to just spend the least amount of money. I need to make sure that I'm getting good quality food for the money I'm spending. In fact, we were doing the math the other day. There is a butcher just down the street from me. He's 5 minutes from my house that sells New York strip steaks for $7.99 a pound. These are thick, like inch thick New York strips. They're nice. And so for the cost of getting one of these strip steaks for that me and my wife can split, because neither one of us can eat a pound of steak, getting maybe a head of broccoli and maybe some squash or something that we steam, we can make a really nice restaurant quality meal for maybe $15, which is cheaper than what it would be if we actually went to a restaurant. And so it's funny how much money I've spent, because I just want the quickness of just going to a restaurant or something or fast food place and picking the food up and getting back to the house. But while I do have to cook the food myself, which isn't that difficult, it's a lot cheaper and you save a lot of money just by going and buying the ingredients yourself and cooking it yourself. I know sometimes things get rushed and it's easy just to pick up a pizza, but in the long run, you're doing probably more harm to your body than good by getting that cheaper food. So buy the best quality food that you can buy the best quality food you can for as little amount as possible. And that's why we use coupons. That's why we use price matches. And no longer for me is it a thing where I'm just trying to get as much for as little as possible. Now I'm really, really trying to get good, high quality food, a lot of protein, a lot of produce, good dairy, and staying away from really the middle, the middle aisles in the grocery store, and getting away from that processed food. That processed food is a lot cheaper. Fast food is cheap, but in the long run, it's going to be more harm than good. So number 10, the last thing on the list, and these are in no particular order, but pet food. There are a lot of pet foods on the market right now that don't really meet any kind of quality because the FDA doesn't really require a whole lot from pet food. I mean, there are things that they can't do in pet food, but their quality standards aren't as stringent as for people food, and I guess for good reason. If you're gonna regulate something, you want to make sure that the people are taken care of more than pets. But with just a small amount of research, you can find out that there are a lot of problems with certain pet foods, especially a lot of the cheaper ones. They use fillers. Some of them use things that will make dogs and pets have died because of certain kinds of foods. Pets have broken out where they've got skin rashes and different things because of certain foods. So I would recommend if you've got a pet, you want to take as good care of that pet as you possibly can. Spend a little bit more money on pet food. And I know pet food's expensive. We buy Iams pet food, and boy, every time even a $3 coupon comes out for Iams pet food, I'm all over it because that Iams is expensive. But it's what my dog likes. I've done the research. I haven't really seen any issues with the type of Iams that we're buying. And so it's worth it to me, to be able to spend a little bit of, more money on that and make sure that my pets are taken care of. So that's it. So those are 10 things that I think that you should probably not be too frugal with, things that you should spend more money on than just the dirt cheapest thing that you can find. So let me go over the list real quick. Toilet paper, bedding like sheets, mattresses, and pillows, shoes, safety equipment, birth control, tires, dental or medical care, tattoos, food, and pet food. So those are the 10 things I think that you would be wise not just scrimping and saving. So let's move on to the best deals of the week. Actually, there were some really, really good deals at the grocery stores this week. Some fantastic deals. In fact, I'm really going to stock up on a few of these myself, and I'll tell you which ones they are as we go to them. But let's take a look at Albertsons first. So Albertsons' new ad came out yesterday. Fantastic deals on Albertsons. First of all, Hormel chili with beans. Those are normally about $1.50 a can at Walmart, but you can price match Albertsons to 88 cents a can. And there are tons of 55-cent off 2 coupons that you can get, several printable ones, some that came in the paper. They're all over the place. So you can get Hormel chili with beans for 62 cents a can after the coupon. That's a really, really good deal. Next up, Hillshire Farm sausage. So these like the big rope sausage and the packages of the little mini links. These are normally like $3 or $4 at Walmart, but Albertsons has them on sale this week for $1.99. And there's a 55-cent off coupon that came out in the paper about 2 weeks ago. So you can actually get them for, what is that, like $1.40, $1.44 for sausage. That's good. In fact, I was excited that my Kroger put a couple types of sausage on clearance the other day. but they put them on clearance for $1.99. So even on clearance, they were the same price as what Albertsons selling them on the shelf. So that's a really, really good deal. Hamburger Helper, normally $1.50 a box at Walmart. Albertsons has them on sale for 99 cents a box, and there's an 80-cent off for printable coupon and an 80-cent off for Saving Star rebate, so you can get Hamburger Helper for 59 cents a box after price match and coupons. Excellent deal. And finally, Chunky Soup. Chunky Soup is normally about $1.50 a can at Walmart. Albertsons has them on for 99 cents this week, and there's a bunch of 40-cent off 2 coupons and different coupons for different prices. But it's really easy to get Chunky Soup for 79 cents a can if you've got an Albertsons near you. Now, of course, I'm saying price match at Walmart because that's what I do, but you can actually go to Albertsons and do these deals yourself there at Albertsons if you want to do that. So let's move on to Kroger. Kroger had 3 fantastic deals. First deal, Colgate Total Toothpaste. So they have Colgate Total Toothpaste on sale for $1.99 this week at Kroger, and there's a $2 printable coupon. So you can actually get free Colgate toothpaste. You can get as much free toothpaste as you can print the coupons off for. So that's an excellent deal if you're running low on toothpaste, and I think we are because I haven't really seen any really good deals on toothpaste in a while. That's the deal that you want to do. And of course, links are going to be in the show notes. I'll tell you how to get them here in a minute. Kroger also has Kellogg's and Post cereal for about $1.99 a box, and there's all kinds of coupons and rebates, and I've got a list of them there. There's just tons of different ways that you can get them for 99 cents a box. So Kellogg's and Post cereal, 99 cents a box, fantastic deal. And then Ken's dressing. So this deal's a little odd because the coupon's not out yet. So Ken's dressing, and these are the 16-ounce bottles, which are important because the 16-ounce bottles are the ranch dressing. That's what we eat. So these are normally about $2.50, $2.28 a bottle at Walmart, but Kroger is putting them on sale for $1.50, and they'll be on sale from yesterday, Wednesday, all the way to next Tuesday. But the coupon for Ken's dressing, 16-ounce, doesn't come out until this Sunday. So this Sunday, in this Sunday's paper, you want to check your paper, get that $1 off coupon, and use it at Kroger or price match it at Walmart, and you can get the Ken's dressing for 49 cents a bottle. Fantastic deal. And there's a MobiSave rebate. So on one of them, you can get an additional 75-cent MobiSave rebate. So your first bottle of Ken's dressing will be free, and you'll actually make like 26 cents on the deal. And then however many more you want for the, however many coupons you have, you can get those for 49 cents a bottle after the price and the coupon. Fantastic, fantastic deal on the Ken's dressing. And in fact, the Colgate toothpaste and the Ken's dressing, that's what we are going to be stocking up on this week. Some great deals. And then finally, Tom Thumb, or Safeway, it's Tom Thumb in my area, the Safeway in your area, has the small cans of Red Gold tomato sauce on sale, 3 for $1. There's no coupons or anything. You just price match that and get tomato sauce, 3 for $1. It's a good deal. Also, Community Coffee is about $6 a box, or a bag normally at Walmart. Safeway has it on sale for $4.99, so $5 a bag. And there's $1.50 off printable coupons, so you can get them for $3.49. Now, that's not a fantastic deal because we've seen Community Coffee for as cheap as $4 a bag, and we've seen $2 printable coupons come out. So we've gotten Community Coffee in the past for as cheap as $2 a bag, but if you're running low on coffee, $3.50 a bag isn't that bad. In fact, that's still almost half of what Walmart sells it at normally. So those are your fantastic deals of the week. All of this stuff will be in the show notes. Just go to groceryshopforfree.com/podcast, and all the show notes will be there. Links to all these deals will be included. If you don't know how to coupon and you'd love to learn how to coupon, we have an ebook that we would love for you to have. It's groceryshopforfree.com/ebook. Just go there and you can grab your copy there. It's called the 21-Day Grocery Budget Bootcamp. It has everything that you need to know about couponing and separated into 21 different lessons. So you can do a lesson a day, and by the end of 3 weeks, you'll know everything you need to know and be able to save a ton of money on your grocery bills. So that's it. If you would like to subscribe to this podcast, go to groceryshopforfree.com/iTunes or /Stitcher, and that'll get you where you need to go to subscribe. We'd love for you to leave a review, and especially leave a review. I'd love to hear some feedback from you guys on this. This is our 41st episode, and I don't think we've ever gotten our first review, which is a little upsetting, but that's okay. What's funny is every time I don't do a podcast, I get messages from people asking me when the podcast is coming up because they listen to it and they like it, but nobody goes and puts a review on iTunes. Those reviews help us out because the more reviews you have, the more iTunes thinks that you're doing something, and they'll show your podcast to other people. So we would love for you to leave a review over there. So thank you for watching. We will appreciate it, and we will talk to you guys next week. Thank you very much.